So just talked about diet, talked about the cause and effect of diet when you've got this IoT stuff. Now let's apply that stuff to information diet. Currently, there's that saying, right? If it bleeds, it leads. You can expand it. If it enrages, it engages. Legacy media and social media profit from Fight Club. Two people just go at it over some stupid polarizing article, and they might agree on 85, 90% of other things. They might live in the same community. They might know each other from work or church or whatever, but they just go at it over this thing, which frankly, neither of them would even have thought to bring up, but it's optimized for being polarizing. It's Slate Star Codex calls like a scissor statement. It's a scissor statement, which is something which is obviously true to one party and obviously false to the other, which basically is like a natural selection process where media companies and social media companies are constantly sifting and selecting effectively for scissor statements because they're so enraging and therefore engaging. And so what happens in this Fight Club, whatever, it's 1,000 clicks, 10,000 clicks, everybody watches fight. Someone wins, someone loses, but most of the time both lose because both are harmed in this environment. But who gains? Twitter gains, the Times gains. They sold ads. Doesn't matter. Made money, right? The issue here is, I think of it as analogous to our diet because over the last 50, 60 years, as restaurant culture has become more and more and more mainstream, you've gone from having family cooked meals where the person who was your food provider was also your healthcare provider to outsourcing all of that to capitalistic entities that are not actually economically aligned with you. And so therefore it's Coca-Cola, it's sugary foods, it's unhealthy foods that are delicious, that get you to eat more, that's huge portion sizes, but you pay later with diabetes or disorders of metabolism and so on and so forth. And it's really something where it's an externality. People have talked about this like fiat food, like how the food pyramid is just totally upside down. It tells you to eat all these carbohydrates and grains, when actually that should be the thing you avoid to the maximum extent because we're showing it causes inflammation, causes type 2 diabetes. There's this gif of the obesity epidemic. Google that sometime. It's from Slate. It's almost 10 years ago. And it's frightening because it actually looks like an epidemic, a true epidemic. Could it be, by the way, partially microbially caused? Sure. Could it be that this era, you know how in previous eras, you've seen the show Mad Men? We kind of wince when you were supposed to wince when like they're smoking all the time. Pregnant woman smoking a cigarette. I haven't seen the show, but I saw like a few episodes. I don't remember all the episodes. The director knows enough about modern culture around smoking that they can kind of pan to a shot where the audience will go, they're smoking a lot. Yeah, that looks like a really smoky room. What are they doing to their health? But guess what? If the drugs at that time were nicotine and alcohol, like maybe to a greater extent, sometimes I'll come back to that point. Nicotine was drug at that time. Sure, nicotine has dropped off, but we're juicing ourselves with sugar, with caffeine, and with whatever the dopamine stimulus is of social media / rage stimulus. We're doing that. We're dosing ourselves to the absolute max on that. This is a sugar, caffeine, and social media society.